don't buy the wrong G30. So you want to buy a G30. I'm getting a lot of questions on my TikTok, actually, which has been popping off there. I've been loving it. If you haven't followed me, links down below. You should follow me. I post every day. Anyway, a lot of people are asking me, what year should I get? You know, what options should I get? This and that. So I'm gonna kind of quickly give you my opinion on a G30 buyer's guide. So first and foremost, this is for all of you who want to tune your car. You know you want to do it right when you buy it. This is for you. If you're not going to tune, you're just watching this because you are interested in a G30 5 Series, you can skip this part. Okay, years for tuning. If your car is built on June 2020 and above, you need a FEM2 unlock. You need to physically remove your DME from your car, send it to Finland, have this company FEM2 unlock your DME, send it back, then you can tune it. That's the only way you can do it. If you have a car built, I believe between November 2019 and May 2020, you need a bench unlock. And a local tuner can probably do that for you, but also MHD sells a tool for 300 bucks. You unplug a few harnesses in your DME and you can unlock it with that tool, and then you can tune. Anything built before that, you are in the clear and you are good to go. So I have a 2019. I didn't have to do any of that. I just got the MHD Wi-Fi adapter. They're super licensed. I was golden. Now here's where it gets interesting. Someone mentioned on my TikTok that there's a sticker on the side of your DME that shows when the DME was built, and that's what you can go off of. So I checked, and he's right. There's a sticker on my DME, and what's interesting is it said it was built in 2014, my Bosch computer. And my car, if you look in the sticker of, so by the way, to check your build date on the car, it's on the sticker on your driver door jamb. It'll show your VIN number and it'll show you the date it was manufactured. My car was actually made in October of 2018. That's a 2019. But my computer's from 2014. So I would say the surefire method is going off the door jamb, but you can check the sticker on the DME. If you just want to make absolute certain that you can tune your car, what I would do is I would get the MHD app, which is free. I would buy an eNet cable and I would get an adapter. It's an OBD2 eNet cable. So it goes from your OBD2 port to an Ethernet cable, and then get an adapter that plugs the Ethernet into your phone, probably USB-C. You can use, the app's free to download, MHD, and it's free to check to see if you need an unlock in the car. So if you're gonna go look at a car used, just pop that fucking thing in there and it'll tell you no lock unneeded or no unlock unneeded, good to tune, or unlock needed. But those are the years you want to look out for if you want to tune. Now, let's quickly talk about the different generations of G30. So when they first came out, the headlights were different. You get the Icon headlights, and that's what I have, and they're fucking awesome. They're a more aggressive old school BMW Halo look, but they just look sharper and more aggressive and badass, and I love them. And then you get into the LCI, and the LCIs are 2021 and up. And those, you actually get, they changed the B58. It's a TU version, and a technical upgrade or update. And it's a mild hybrid, and I'm not 100% sure what the mild hybrid does. It's not some major power difference. I think it might be another 30 horsepower or so it's not insane. And I think it might be a little bit more efficient. And I think it integrates with the starter motor differently. I could be wrong about that. I honestly don't know too much about the engine because it's not a, from my understanding, it's not like you have to get that engine. They're all, even the first version of the B58, which is in this, is fucking awesome. Reliable, everything else. Also the LCI, you get the new style headlights, and they're kind of like these two like slashes. And I'm not a huge fan of the design of the LCI headlights, to be honest. I love the Icon headlights, but the LCI, you get the new tail lights, and I love the tail lights. They kind of have this shape to them in the rear, and they look so fucking badass. And I think the bumper design in the front bumper is a little bit different. Again, I could be wrong about that. If it's different, it's super minor, because I think the M bumper on this looks killer. What I was gonna say though is, I think the sweet spot is 2018, 2019, I have a 2019, like I said. You can always buy the taillights for like $500-600 bucks, plug and play. Might be able to get them cheaper, but quality might be hit or miss. And you have LCI taillights in a non-LCI car that you can go and tune right away and have a ton of fun. LCI, you also get the updated xDrive and you get the updated gauges. And I do like the new gauges. that come in the LCI. I think they look pretty fucking cool. It just looks like, it's just a cool design. I think you get map integration with the OEM navigation system into the gauges, which is also cool, but I use CarPlay anyway, so I don't really care about that. And then that's really it in terms of like the main differences. It's a new version of iDrive. And by the way, the version of iDrive in the older models, it's fine. Like, it's still plenty modern. And again, if I use CarPlay, like, it's perfect. Like, it works, it's a touch screen, and I can use the rotary knob on the bottom to control it. I'm perfectly happy. So that's kind of like the LCI differences in terms of like the different years. Next up, I want to get into trim levels, or packages rather. So let's talk about the M package. I have the M package on this car. For me, it was a necessity. If you're an enthusiast, I've had people ask me, like, should I just get this good deal I found local that's not an M package? And I'm like, are you an enthusiast? Yes, don't. The reason why is because the M package is not just bumpers, it's a lot. It's not a lot, but it's important. So the M package, you get the fucking awesome front and rear bumpers. You get one of the best steering wheels I think BMW has ever made. You also get cool things like illuminated door sills, which I think are awesome. And like, even on my keys, I know this is dumb, guys, but like, I have cool M colors on my key fob, and it's like a metal key fob. So it's a lot of small things that just make it feel special. I also get an M logo in my gauges when I put it in Sport Plus, which I think is rad. But more importantly, you get the M suspension. And the M suspension is so good. It's so good. It's sharp. It rides lower than the factory regular suspension, but it doesn't sacrifice ride quality, dude. Like, it's still so compliant and comfortable, but it's still sharp enough to have fun in. It still makes, you know, the steering response feels good. Like, it's not a sports car. It's not gonna rip around canyons, but like, they just did a perfect job. As opposed to, you know, like AMG, all their AMG lights, like the C43 that I had before this, they fuck those cars. They are so stiff. They're fun, they're full of drama, but they're just not comfortable. Like, for me, they're not comfortable. Every time you hit a bump or whatever, you just feel everything, you rattle everything. Not with this car. And I have super shitty run flats. I have the Pirelli run flats on here, and honestly, they haven't been that bad. Like, everyone's always like, run flats are fucking awful. Like, yeah, I'm undertired. I understeer a lot if I'm pushing it around a corner or something. But as far as comfort's concerned, they're fine. Like, my car still soaks up bumps good, and it's still, that's what's so cool. Again, like, I keep nerding out about the suspension. It really does change the game a lot. It's still comfortable, but it's also, it can perform. And that's one of the major things with the M package. So it's all those things that add up to, I would say, a sum that's kind of like bigger than its parts, if that makes any sense. And if you get a non-M Sport and you are an enthusiast, trying to convert everything to that, it's just gonna cost you so much money, dude. Like, you're gonna drop money on your steering wheel, you're gonna drop money on the bumpers, you have to paint the bumpers, you're gonna be in it, like, and like, even if you get into suspension, because if you just lower it on the shitty, I shouldn't say shitty, but if you lower it on the stock suspension, that's not gonna feel great, dude. You can do it, but you get my point. You're gonna spend a lot of money chasing the M package when you can just buy an M package. So I would definitely get the M package if you're an enthusiast. If you're not an enthusiast, who gives a shit? M brakes, that's a specific option. I have the M package, or whatever they call it. I don't have the M brakes. I wish I did. Honestly, not only do they look fucking badass, but the brakes, the stock brakes on this car, they're fine, they're good, they're a little soft. So if you're trying to find like the most performance, obviously, you're gonna wanna get the M brake kit. Luckily, you can find a good amount on eBay used if you wanna add them later, but I'm just letting you know, it's not like if you see the M bumpers, you're gonna for sure have the M brakes. That's not how it works. Just wanted to clarify, and that's about that. Now I want to talk about seats really quick. There's 4 seating options. There's 3 seat versions. There's the standard, the sport, and the multi-contour. But in the multi-contour, you can get the multi-contour by itself, or you can get the multi-contour with ventilation and with massage. In a perfect world, I would have gotten the multi-contour seats. So, but here's the thing. You don't, in my opinion, you do not want to get the multi-contour with massage and ventilation, because that makes the seat bottom much firmer. And for me, they weren't comfortable, which sucked, because it's supposed to be like the primo seat in the 5 Series. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, I drove an M550 that had them, and I kept wiggling around trying to find a comfortable position, and I couldn't, because again, it was just stiff, because there's all that shit in there. You know, the massage feature and the ventilation feature, there's a lot of tech in the seat bottom. And also, I got news for you guys, the ventilation sucks. Literally and figuratively. It's a sucking style ventilation. I could barely notice it on. And the massage, it's whatever, dude. To me, personally, it's a gimmick. Like, it's something you'll show off to passengers in your car, and that's about it. So I think the multi-contour seats are the move. My sport seats, I like them now, but I had to modify my sport seats to be comfortable for me. The seat bottoms for me didn't fit. Like there's metal bolstering in them, and it was too narrow and it was digging into my ass. So there's a video on my channel if you want to watch on specifically what I did. And not everyone has this issue. Some people love the sport seats. It was my issue. I'm 6'3", I'm about 200 pounds. So I'm a bigger guy. But those are the seating options. I never sat in the like standard seats. Apparently they're pretty comfortable. But those are the seating options. And then you have Dakota leather and Napa leather. This is Dakota. I love the cognac color. You can't get cognac in Napa. For Napa, what sucks is there's only like 3 colors. I think there's Silverstone or white. There's like an espresso coffee, which I'm not a huge fan of, and there's black. And like, I wish they had more colors with the Napa, because the Napa looks good and like it feels good. It's Napa leather. The Dakota still feels good. It just feels like, it's like a stiffer leather. The Napa is gonna be more buttery smooth, more soft. The last thing about G30s is they do come in rear wheel drive and xDrive. To be honest with you, like, I think they're both good. BMW's xDrive is still heavily rear wheel biased. If you're in a place where it rains a lot, just get the xDrive. Also, if you are planning to get the most power you possibly can out of the car by tuning it, running ethanol, the whole 9, you might want to consider xDrive also, because that thing is going to launch 10 times better than rear wheel. You'll be able to put the power down, and it's going to, it'll be a bat out of hell when you floor it off the line. I have rear wheel. I don't really care. I didn't really care if I was going to get xDrive or rear wheel. That wasn't one of my options I had to get. But it seems that there's not some consensus that one is 1,000 times better than the other. Both are good. I don't think it's something you should overthink. I think it's more important that, unless you're like, I have to get the xDrive, then that is one of your 2 things to pick. You know, because that's the thing. You basically want to pick 2 options that you have to have. That will make it so you can safely find a car within a decent amount of time. The second you're like, I need to have depending on what the options are, adaptive cruise, M brakes, head-up display, and this color, and it needs to have the M package and contour seats. That's like, don't wait for your unicorn spec, guys. Just fucking go for it. Just make sure you're getting like the bare minimum specs you want. Unless you don't need a car right away, then you can wait. And that's kind of it. Like, the one thing that I would say to heavily consider, so M package is a must for me. The adaptive cruise control, as you can see, I'm in traffic all the fucking time. I live in Los Angeles. It was a must for me. That alone limited my options as to what I could get. So that's why, if any of you guys asking me, why don't you just get the multi-contour seats? It was already almost impossible finding an M Sport package with adaptive cruise control. If I added multi-contour seats into that and then made it specifically non-ventilated, non-massage, I would have been in a world of hurt. So yeah, and then in terms of other models of the 5 Series, it's like you can get the B58, the B58, which is in my car, the 6-cylinder, which I think is a sweet spot, the 540. Then you can get the B48, which is a 4-cylinder, and I think it's the 530. I forget the exact number on the G30. To me, that's a little underpowered for the size of the car. Personally, I think it's too big and too heavy of a car for the 4-cylinder, even if you tune that thing up. And also, when you tune that thing up, it'll slap you when the turbo lag kicks in. And then you get the M550 and the M5, and those are both killer cars. And the thing about the M550 that was really appealing is they come so well optioned. Like, you'll be able to find so many with adaptive cruise, with the multi-contour seats, with the adaptive suspension, because these cars do come with adaptive suspension. So that'll change in between comfort, sport, and sport plus, and you know, which I think is fucking awesome. But you know, they're just more expensive. They're more expensive to run, they're more expensive to gas, they're more expensive to insure, and they're not as reliable as the B58, straight up. They're not as reliable. And for those people claiming they get 21 miles to the gallon in their M550, I totally get it. That's awesome, actually. Like, they do get good gas mileage. You ain't gonna get that gas mileage in the traffic that I'm in. You know, once I did a post on TikTok saying how I get 18 miles a gallon in my Stage 1 540, and someone's like, oh, my 550 gets 21 miles a gallon. Dude, I'm in traffic bumper to bumper 70% of my commute every week. I'm not fucking lying. And you're gonna get 12 to 13. And I know, because I test drove 2 M550s, and I reset the trip purposely to see how it'd do in traffic, and that's what I got. So, anyway, those cars are killer. It's just a whole different beast. They're heavier. I would just highly recommend the 540. I think that's a sweet spot with the G30. But anyway, guys, we're gonna do a quick buyer's guide. Feel free to ask me any questions. I hope you found value in this video, and until next time, have a good one.